Welcome to MarcusG.tv. I'm Chef Marcus Guiliano. I'm a chef on a mission. Today's mission is baking soda. Many of you have seen my baking soda videos. They're my most popular videos on my YouTube channel. And I'm a huge fan of baking soda, along with a lot of other medical doctors, health practitioners. A lot of these health professionals love baking soda for the benefits. Well, one of the benefits of baking soda that I've read about and discovered is the baking soda for athletes, also called soda doping. Not such a nice name, but it is done. Soda doping was done in the Beijing Olympics. They even used to give it to horses. And here's somebody who a friend requested me on Facebook, and this is what's prompting this video. So he goes, "Hi Marcus, the reason I sent you a friend request is because when you post something in public, a lot of people comment on something they know nothing about, apart from a belief system that they have. So here it goes with baking soda. I took up running marathons in the last year, a year and a half, and to date have done 30 marathons. Awesome job. I was getting pains in my hip and knee areas as I just expected it is part of running. Then I came across your talks on baking soda and the fact that you run yourself, and I decided to try it. The last 4 marathons I run were almost pain-free. I ran a 40-mile ultra on Saturday, and lo and behold, the same thing, no problems. Now added to this, I am a fruitarian and have been for the last 10 years. Now get this. I am 63 years old, by the way, which is only a number, and I'm fitter now than I ever have been. I just wanted to tell you, to keep talking about baking soda. Your talk about baking soda did not go to waste in Ireland, so thank you for the info." So interesting. Baking soda for athletics, for marathons. What's the story with that? Why is that working? So I'm going to pull up an article here that I pulled up from doctorofitness.com. Has a great article on baking soda and why it works for athletes. Okay, and why one of the benefits is for athletes. Q&A, sodium bicarbonate to buffer lactic acid in athletes. Before I answer this question, let's examine a few basics of human physiology and exercise performance. When you exercise by jogging, cycling, lifting weights, or playing any sport, your muscles produce a waste and breakdown of products. These products build up in your muscles, and one of the biggest waste products of exercise is lactic acid. Lactic acid builds up in your muscles, is what makes your muscles burn during sprints or when trying to complete the last repetition on a bench press. The type of exercise you perform also affects how quickly the lactic acid accumulates in your muscles. The more anaerobic the exercise, the faster the lactic acid levels climb in your muscles. A maximum effort weight training session or a 40-yard sprint workout tends to make lactic acid levels soar much faster than a slow 5-mile jog, since the first two are more anaerobic. The body does have its own buffer system to prevent muscle pH from rising lactic acid and the muscle tissues from becoming acidic. However, as the workout continues, your body's natural buffering system becomes unable to keep up with the acid levels. There are 3 main substances that buffer muscle cell tissues from rising pH levels and hydrogen atoms: carnosine, phosphate, and bicarbonate. Interestingly, bicarbonate only accounts for less than 10% of the body's buffering potential. Since the body's not using its own natural, your body produces its own sodium bicarbonate naturally. So whether you're taking it or not, your body is using sodium bicarbonate. The body's primary buffering muscle tissue is carnosine, with phosphate the secondary buffer. Where sodium bicarbonate becomes more important to athletes in terms of buffering potential is in the blood. Exercise not only increases the acidity in your muscles, but also acidifies your blood as well. When the lactic acid levels rise in your blood, you get exercise-induced fatigue. The main buffer in the blood is sodium bicarbonate. This is how the idea came for athletes to ingest baking soda, otherwise known as sodium bicarbonate, to buffer their blood and muscles from acid. The concept was that taking baking soda, an athlete could train harder and go longer because the atom sodium bicarbonate would delay the rise of lactic acid levels. The baking soda you eat or drink never makes it to your muscle tissue because it can't go through the muscle cell membrane, but it does make it to your bloodstream. Because your body is always trying to reach a state of equilibrium, when you ingest the bicarbonate, it lowers your blood pH. This creates a gradient that brings the lactic acid out of your muscle tissues and into the bloodstream, thereby lowering the pH of your muscles as well. So, your blood is lowering the pH. Your muscles want to offset the high pH, the lactic acid, so it transfers from the muscles to the blood, is basically what that's saying. Next, let's examine how well this actually works on improving athletic endurance performance. Now, I've read for years, I've seen reports and studies done how you can shave 10% off endurance of an hour or so. And if you're shaving 10% off of a swim or a run in the course of an hour, 10% time is a huge difference, especially if you're doing this competitively, which is what Olympic athletes or professional athletes do. It's a competitive basis. So 10% is huge, huge, huge. So back to the article. It has been well documented in the scientific literature that supplementation with bicarbonate does improve performance. One study gave athletes 200 milligrams, about 18 grams for a 200-pound athlete. The athletes then performed 5 succession 60-second sprints on a stationary bike, with the last sprint lasting until the athlete reached exhaustion. The bicarbonate improved time until exhaustion by 42%. That's huge. Another study gave athletes 300 milligrams for a 200-pound athlete. In this study, college varsity track athletes ran an 800-meter sprint. The baking soda improved times by an average of 3 seconds, or a distance of 19 meters. It's huge, 19 meters on 800. Sometimes you see, 3 seconds isn't much, but 19 meters, that's huge. Imagine some guy 19 meters behind you running, and you're the first place guy, or second place guy, and the next guy is 19 meters, or you're 19 meters now in front. In the elite runners, such as collegiate track athletes, cutting 3 seconds off your 800 time is a massive improvement. In rowers, taking the same dose of 300 milligrams of baking soda, the group rowed 50 meters farther in a 6-minute timed trial over the placebo group. Most studies that have shown beneficial performance on athlete supplementation with sodium bicarbonate have used high doses over 200 milligrams and short high-intensity exercises lasting less than 6 minutes. What about the side effects? This is a good question. People say, what are the side effects? So the side effects of taking baking soda before a workout. Now, I took baking soda one time before an ultra marathon, before a 34-miler, and it's funny, what's in your stomach makes a big difference before, because you're basically altering the pH of your body, of your stomach, and if there's something in there that's not going to work, like for example, we have high alkaline water at the restaurant, which is the high pH water, and so when people first start drinking it, they're like, oh my gosh, I don't feel that well. For our guests, we don't serve it at the highest level, but sometimes my staff would say, oh, I want the highest level, let me try it. And if you drink a soda and then the super acidic and then drink something that's super alkaline, your stomach's going to feel it. So it's the same concept with baking soda. Don't eat like crap and think, well, I'm going to take this and I'm going to feel all better now because I'm going to, not going to feel something. These two are now conflicting. You have this yin and yang, you have these total opposite things that are now colliding in your stomach. So be advised on that. Try this simple experiment in your kitchen. In a bowl, add some baking soda, now pour some vinegar over it and watch what happens, right? That's exactly what's happening in your stomach. So when people report stomach aches and pains, that's what it's from. It also says that some athletes develop diarrhea. I've never experienced anything like that. However, there is a way to do a salt flush in your body where you're basically consuming sea salt until you actually have runny diarrhea, until it goes clear, and it's called like a salt flush or something. So baking sodium bicarbonate, sodium, salt, might be a correlation. I'm not 100% sure with that, but that would make sense to me that there's some kind of salt flush going on in your body. So you just would, in my case, I would back down on the amount that I'm taking. Let's also not forget the terrible tastes ingesting baking soda as well. I don't think it tastes that bad. I don't mind the taste at all. I've been drinking it on and off for years, so that's not a problem for me. And a lot of people say, oh, that is, or it isn't. Sometimes it's a deal breaker for some people. I've known people that the taste has been a deal breaker, even though they said, well, I know it's good, or I know that I should be taking it, or I read this and I really want to try it, but I just can't get past the taste. So don't let the taste be a deal breaker. Let's see. So in order to minimize the gastrointestinal side effects, athletes should divide a large dose into several smaller doses taken before a competition. Makes sense. One other side effect of baking soda is a large amount of sodium that you are taking. A 20-gram dose of baking soda contains 5 grams of sodium. This can cause havoc to one's blood pressure. Now, I've also posted a video on YouTube about baking soda and blood pressure because Dr. Whitaker, the cardiologist, the famous cardiologist who has a couple books out there and has a great practice and is actually healing people of heart disease, he claims on his website, because he has a great article on baking soda as well, that it does not affect your blood pressure. That baking soda, sodium bicarbonate, does not affect your blood pressure. So, even though it does have sodium, here is a doctor, a cardiologist. It's not me saying it. It's a cardiologist, one of the best in the country, saying that, hey, this does not affect your blood pressure. And he goes on and does a little explanation. So Whitaker, Dr. Whitaker might be somebody good to look at if you're concerned about your blood pressure. In terms of legality of baking soda, baking soda is not banned by the IOC, NFL, NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball, or NCAA. In summary, sodium bicarbonate is a cheap, legal supplement that has had a proven performance effects for short, intense exercises lasting less than 6 minutes, but has some major problematic side effects. That's what they're saying, major. I don't think that's major, but that's what they're saying. So, baking soda. Check it out, read some more, do some research on baking soda. Incidentally, baking soda is actually found in chemotherapy. It's the buffering agent of chemo. So you're taking it in chemo. Many of these alternative doctors, alternative healthcare practitioners say that if it wasn't for baking soda, chemo could kill you much quicker, but baking soda is a buffering agent and it's actually helping in the long run. And your body has baking soda, has sodium bicarbonate naturally already in itself. So, so check out baking soda. I'm shooting today in the back garden of the restaurant. So this is the backyard. Pepper plants there that aren't mine. They're on one of the local farmers left them here. There's some kale, Swiss chard. Where's our fire pit? Right there's our fire pit that we have going on every night. Over there's the smoker. Where is it at? Right there's the smoker that I bought with my YouTube earnings. I buy a lot of stuff with my YouTube earnings. So those are some old saute pans back there that we had at the restaurant when we first opened, and we don't use them anymore because the rivets or something's broken with them. So we painted them silver and hung them outside, sort of a pop on the wall. There's an old beehive back there. I haven't done bees in 15 years, but that was an old beehive. I used to keep bees. It takes a lot more work than I thought it took. I didn't have time at the time, nor do I have the time now to really keep bees because I really don't know the technique that properly. So, and can we look at the Shawangunk mountain range back there? That's the Shawangunk mountain range way up on top there. Clouds are coming in. So, Chef Marcus Guiliano, thanks for watching. If you like my videos, please hit like, subscribe to my channel, and definitely pass it on. If you have a baking soda experience, please share your baking soda experience in the comments below.